What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Creepy Family Unit. This is your Creepy Uncle Vito, and welcome back to Rise of Insanity. Now, I do understand last time I kept calling it Rise of Nightmares, and I don't know why I did that. So I apologize for that. It was like, again, I was getting more acclimated to waking up this fucking early, because for those of you who don't know, I'm now waking up at 6 o'clock every morning to actually record before I go to work. So I actually have time to record so I can have a regular upload schedule, give or take. But because of that, and it also being winter, and I have a lot of leaks in the room I record, so I'm now sick. Well, I got the sniffles. I don't know if I would call it full-blown sick, but blah, 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 blah. Enough of my personal drama. Given how the examination conducted by Dr. Maslow's team should not be taken into consideration during the investigation. Dr. Maslow could influence the examination in order to help his friend Dr. Bandura. Dr. Bandura says. Dr. Dow was known for his controversial methods of treatment, and the fact is that, in the past, he has probably led to a patient's death, he adds. Okay. So the way I had this set up was I thought I would get a couple more episodes out of this, but at the pace that it's going, I honestly don't know how many more episodes are left, because it's already gave me the inclination that it was close to the end anyway. That's why I wanted to stop where I was. So, I'll say from here, I don't know where this is going to end. Sadly, I feel like this is one of those games that's going to end abruptly, and I hope that's not the case. I hope there's a good conclusion. But we'll see. Let's turn the sensitivity down on my mouse. A little bit higher. A little higher. There we go. Wait. Okay. That was a little disturbing. Okay, let me turn this up a little bit in my ears, because I cannot hear much. And I apologize for the sniffles.
I hereby open the trial against Edward Hume about Susan Dowell and Theodore Dowell's murder. Do the prosecutor and counsel wish to say anything before the trial is started?
Whoa.
I would like to report about my client's insanity to the evidence, as well as recordings made by Dr. Dowell during the therapy.
Mr. Edward, could you tell us about the relation that was between you and Mrs. Susan Dow, Dr. Stephen Dow's wife, that tried to cure you? I would like to enclose documents from Susan Dow's autopsy to the evidence. Basing on these, Your Honor, as well as the jury can get to know that the victim was pregnant with the defendant.
Oh. Little bit of tidbit. The wife was having an affair with the gardener. Ooh, the plot thickens. Oh.
I open the trial against Stephen Dowell about malpractice against Edward Hume, who caused Susan and Theodore Dowell's death. Do the prosecutor and counsel wish to say anything before the trial is started?
Oh, crap it. Booted me out of the game. I'm sorry.
My client, as a doctor, always takes care about patients' welfare. In the enclosed evidence, Your Honor may read about many difficult cases that have been cured by the defendant. He was trying to cure his protege at any cost to ease the pain.
I would like to enclose to the evidence the description of one therapy conducted by the defendant, which, as we can read, also finished with a failure. The girl, with similar illness like Edward, who under the influence of the therapy made suicide.
And did the defendant realize that his wife was pregnant, not with him, but with Edward?
Okay, again, they're kind of throwing plot points around. Okay, can't go back there. Okay, that opened. So am I done here? Yep, I'm done here. Hello? Hello? Loading. Taking your sweet time. Please tell me to God I'm not this close to the end of the game. Okay, thank you. Office? Therapy. What is this? Okay, there's like a fancy therapist couch.
Steven, can I see you in my office?
Sure. Sorry, sir. Where's your office, sir? Office? No. Office? No. What the heck? What is this? I don't know what that is, but okay. Office? Your office? Not your office? Mother and 70s. A murdered woman receives 30 stab wounds 2 days after the child is strangled during sleep. Oh, Christ. They weren't killed together. The kid was killed 2 days later. The father of the family is the one responsible for the commission of these horrible acts.
How are you feeling today? Everything's okay? I think it's time to show you something. Let's go to the next room. Have a seat and make yourself comfortable.
Okay. Next room. This room? Or there? Oh. God, it's a little bright. Okay, have a seat. How do I sit? Oh, that works too.
Our relationship started to pass away suddenly. Steven treated me like a lodger, unwanted person, with whom he lived because it was a kind of interest. And I started to live on memories and projections that were so beautiful in my head, so perfect. Steven was in them like years before, like when we moved into our new house and we planned to make a big garden, only for us. These memories made me stronger, helped me to survive and wait for tomorrow with hope. First time, I thought that maybe I'm only dreaming, or the projections about him became ridiculously strong. He came to me like before, smiling, happy, with sparkles in his eyes. Similar situations repeated in the next weeks, and I, instead of looking for their source, was waiting till my loving Steven came back, just for a while, to feel like before, like years ago. At the beginning of our relationship, Steven often told me about interesting things from the psychology ward. During his studies, he met with the case of a patient with multiple personalities. I remember well this case because it seemed to be very exciting. So many different personalities in one body that differ in IQ, beliefs, talents, and even visual acuity. I hid my husband's illness to meet with Eddie, his second personality, to feel happy just for a while, to fulfill my dreams. During our romance, we often met in the garden. Today, I again talked to Eddie.
What?
He is in very bad condition. Steven's therapy started to even scare him, he says. He must make terrible things to be cured and finally take a breath. As a last resort, I will send this recording to Abraham.
Whoa, what? Wait. So, Steven and Edward, same person. Edward, Steven, whoever. Steven has multiple personalities and Edward is one of those personalities? So, Steven as Edward killed his wife and child. Okay. Interesting twist. Kind of... It's a twist, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like a this is new. This is very new. Oh god, I'm getting Layers of Fear vibes. Yep! Layers of Fear vibes. 1408. Gee, I wonder what that's a reference to. For the joke I just made, for those of you who don't know, that's a movie / Stephen King novel. Or novella. Oh, God. Ducky! Oh, well, I'm going to hell. Is this a prequel to Agony? Oh, shit. Nope. Kids laughing in a horror game. No. Children. Whoa! Oh, this is why I don't do kids in horror games. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Get me out of here. Send me to hell. I'd rather have that. I'm in the garden. Well, I thought that was a face for a second. That was freaking me out. What the? Whoa. Okay, into hell I go. Sense of scale is cool. Please tell me that God, this music's not oh crap, okay, I'm sorry. Please tell me to God this music's not copywritten. Okay. Is this my descent into hell? Or... Oh yeah, I'm going to hell. This is hell. I may have to cut the audio because this is definitely a copywritten song. I'm sorry. Okay. That's the end of the game. I should have just kept going last recording. I'm sorry. I keep doing that. Like, right before the end of, like, when I should really stop. Okay, music. I mean, I really wish I could... Okay, look up that song right there. Because this is actually nice music, but I'm going to have to cut the audio for this. Because this is definitely copywritten. This is cool, though. I like the premise of it. The execution kind of leaves something to be desired, for sure, but I honestly think... Let me turn this down a little bit in my ears, because the song's still going. Steam community, especially like Crazy Cat Lady. But I like the premise of this game. I feel like... Thanks for playing. Share your feedback. Okay. Let me see what it does. That's it. Okay. So, here's the thing. I'm not gonna say the game was bad. It's not great. It's not great, but it's not terrible. The story behind it is well implemented. It's just, or I guess, well, not well implemented. I like the premise. The execution is what leaves me to be desired. The first little bit, like who's who, what's going on, that's a good setup like that. I like that type of, like, that confusion starting off of, like, who's this, what's going on, what happened, what's going, like, the details get filled in as you go, and I like that kind of storytelling. However, the only real beef that I have with this game is that the pacing, as far as how the story was played out, as far as when it gave you bits of information, the pacing of that was a little too fast. I feel like, and normally I don't say this about games, I feel like there needed to be a little bit more filler. And that is bizarre for me to say about a video game, that I want there to be more filler. But for this game, I feel like the pacing was just way too fast. Like, I technically can beat this, you can technically beat this game in, what, 2-3 hours if you were flying through it. Maybe even less than that. But with how the story is set up, it's a good story plot. Like, I love the thing of wives having an affair because husband is busy with work and going crazy and wanting to find some kind of medical procedure. We've seen it 1,000 times. To have the twist that the person that the wife was supposedly having an affair with was one of the doctor's multiple personalities, that is a good twist. But whenever it was presented, it kind of made me feel a little bit lackluster. Like, I didn't get that punch that I felt like I should have with that kind of a twist. Because that is a great twist. I love that concept of the entire time of the game you think these are two separate entities, but it turns out it's just somebody with multiple personality, and we should have kind of picked that up, being as how multiple times throughout the game it talked about people with either schizophrenia or multiple personality disorders, or I think nowadays it's called DID, dissociative identity disorder. I don't know if they call it multiple personality disorder anymore, because every 6 months they give it a new title. Like back in the day, it used to be called manic depressive. Then it was called bipolar. Now it's called, like, I don't know. It's probably got a new name that I'm not aware of. The medical board changes it just because they want to classify something, and then changes the name to make it seem less severe than what it is. Because back in the day, manic depressive versus bipolar. Manic depressive does not have a good sounding name to this, so they kind of want the treatment to be a little happier, I guess? I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor, and I never will be. The closest thing I get to a doctor is I watch Doctor Who. That is the closest I get. But I liked the game. It's just, there's a few things I would really like to be implemented if they make a Rise of Insanity 2, which I'm not sure if they will. Probably not, because, I mean, I've seen the reviews on Steam for this game, and it wasn't bad. It was just the story was kind of so-so. Okay, the story was great. Sorry, let me reiterate. The story was great. Pacing was bad. Aside from that, the environment, I loved it. Loved the design. The graphics, I mean, they're not top of the mark, but they're really good. I give a solid 7 out of 10, for sure. Voice acting, I'd give it a solid 7. That's fine. Lighting, good. Pretty much the majority of the visual aspect of this game is good. The sound design, really well done. I like it. Pretty much everything visually and audio is good. Great, I like it. It's just the story is the only thing I have a little bit reluctance with. But it's still a good game. I do recommend that you do play it. I'm going to see actually if this is on PS4 for a trophy, for my trophy hunting, which I think it's what it's going to be now. I'm going to play a game on this, finish the game, and then see if I can find it on PlayStation, see if I can get the platinum for it, but that's a whole other topic. But for now, regardless, hope you enjoyed yourself with the Creepy Family, and it's been your Creepy Uncle Vito playing the finale of Rise of Insanity. Hope you all have a good one.